Great question to start off with. Earmarks do serve a good purpose, but I think right now we're going to have to get better with them. The economy, we can't take the hit that all of these things are costing us. We talk about the bridge to nowhere in Alaska and those kind of things. And to turn it back, why I think I'm the best candidate for this, I don't go with any baggage. I don't go with any political baggage behind me saying to do deals. I wouldn't do deals. I would do what's best for the American people. Earmarks, we just, right now we can't do that. With Social Security, Medicare, we are robbing ourselves and we're not paying it back. And earmarks are one of the reasons. I feel that maybe as a people, we're going to have to tighten the belt a little bit and not get as much stuff as we need. And send, of course, our congressmen, and hopefully I'm one of them, to do a little better job of spending the money. We do that in our own households. The wife and I, my beautiful wife Marcy's here with me, and just the blessing of my life for the last 24 years. Couldn't find another woman that would put up with me for that long, and bless her for that. We meet every Friday and talk about where the money's going to go, because we don't have enough money for everything. She wants a new car, and I want a new motorcycle, and we can't afford them. And Congress can't. We can't keep printing money to pay for earmarks just because somebody wants it. We can't do that. So I wouldn't have any question about how I would go about it. We just flatten them down. We would spend the money where it's needed. We would better our roads. We would better our bridges. Our defense would be incredibly potent as it is now. We would fund it even better. Our soldiers and sailors would even get more money. And thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Luke.
Thank you, Jim. I don't support earmarks. I think that this last budget, that presently we've got something like $18 billion worth of earmarks in there, and something like 4.3 or something like 4 billion of this has no sponsor. Somehow, I'm not familiar with how the congressional amendment process works, but I can't believe, coming from the legislature in Missouri, we don't know who the sponsor is of the earmark we got in the budget. Obviously, the problem is transparency. We need to find a way to find out who's putting what in there. And then those projects that are worthwhile will make it through the process. Those that aren't, we need to find a way to clear those out. With waste there, we need to find a way to get those projects that are not worthwhile out of there. Earmarks are something that I think is one of the ways that we can start trimming the budget. We can find a way to do things better than what we're doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Moore.
All right, thank you. I believe that the word earmark has taken a wrong turn. The original intent of the word earmark has to do with federal infrastructure. We all know that we must have good bridges that is to work on time and safely, not bridges to nowhere. We must have good ports, that we must have good rivers, and we must have good roads to deliver goods and services. So, the original intent of earmarks was a good thing. The problem is it's taken a bad turn, and we need to prevent that happening in the future. Having served on the budget committee, having dealt with tough budget times, I understand how to ferret out bad earmarks and deal with good earmarks that we must have for our nation. How do you solve the problem? By having performance measures like you do in big business and small business. You never want to support something that is going to just take care of a few. You want to take care of the citizens of the 9th Congressional, the citizens of Missouri, and indeed our entire nation. And we have to do it in a very fair and equitable manner. I have the experience, having served on the Budget Committee and having chaired the budget. I would like to share with you that I've been endorsed by the Highway Patrol Association, Troopers Association, the Corrections Officers Association as well have endorsed me, the Water Patrol Association, our firefighters and those who are professional firefighters and those who are serving in another capacity, first responders. Why is that? Because they trust me, because during tough budget times we were able to have earmarks that serve the people, not earmarks that work against the people of Missouri. So I think it's time to respond.
Mr. Oakley.
Jim, you mentioned the fact that Columbia has been a big receiver of earmarks. In fact, Mizzou, I believe, is one of the biggest receiver of earmarks in the state of Missouri. And I don't believe anybody on this stage has a more vested interest in the University of Missouri than I do. Now, having said that, I will make Mizzou earn an earmark, just as I will make every constituent put up the evidence for me to pass an earmark. Now, I want to say this. I'm not against all earmarks. I think that earmarks definitely have a place if there is an overwhelming support on the local level only. And we know that this part of the legislative process has been abused. It really has, to the tune of tens of billions of dollars annually. One of the ways that we can battle these earmarks is by being fiscal hawks when we get to Congress. We can find like-minded people who are fiscal hawks, and in fact there's been legislation passed, I believe by Senator McCaskill, that requires that anybody who authors a line item of legislation has to tag their name onto it. So there is a bit of transparency that's been added to the earmark process, and in that sense, people are being held accountable for it. But just to reiterate, I'm not against all earmarks. I believe they do serve a purpose, but only if there is overwhelming support on the local level. Thank you.
Mr. Honor.
Thank you. Well, a good congressman will do their best to do things for the congressional district, whether it be the university system or the road or highway or infrastructure system. The problem is when earmarks are added at the dead of night, no one's taking responsibility for them. We need comprehensive earmark reform. And that's why I've taken Americans for Prosperity's earmark transparency pledge. And no, I will not sneak secret earmarks into the budget. That is wrong. We also need other measures to restrain the budget and to control the growth of spending and the growth of government, and that should include a line item veto. We have it here in Missouri and it works, and we should balance our budget. Thank you.